What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I'll be one of your hosts this evening. This is the show where we hang out at the end of a week, probably after we should have gone to bed, and work through the ridiculous backlog of wargaming miniatures that we've accumulated and try and knock some off the painting list. But I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line is my good friend, Broody Gambit. He's a monkey handler. I did that out of order. He's our resident monkey handler. His name is Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be here.
Me too. Man, it's been a while.
It has been. I think we missed the month of November.
Pretty much, yeah. November is all manner of crazy with Thanksgiving and this and that and the other thing. And last week I was at a concert and everything was just a nightmare. So, yeah, we did barely any painting through the month of November. So let's rectify that situation. As with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint some minis. I am continuing working on Ghost Rider. You notice I've got my bog standard suite of orange paints next to me and ready to go because I'm going to start working on the flames right away, and then I'll start highlighting the rest of the bike. Mike, you've got something special on the work table tonight.
I do. So last Sunday, the Bunkers and Badasses RPG finally came in. So I've got a set of 10 Vault Hunters from Borderlands that I've gotten 3 done so far this past week.
Nice.
And I'm continuing today working on the Slab King himself, Brick.
Awesome. I've never played Borderlands.
Oh my goodness, it's such a good game. They're like my favorite.
My brother, of all people, was like, "Oh, you need to play Borderlands with me," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to play Borderlands. Looks great. Like, I love the aesthetic. It's cool." I know a fair amount about it, but it's like, I never got around to it. I guess I just didn't have anybody to play with at the time, or wasn't where I could be or where I needed to be to give it my all. So hopefully at some point I will be able to. RPD says your bog standard suite of orange paints as opposed to your garden variety symphony of orange pants. I don't have any orange pants. I should probably rectify that situation. And by pants in this case I mean shorts, because I wouldn't buy orange pants. I only wear black pants. Alright. I gotta make some decisions here right off the bat. I think what I'm going to do is dry brush the first 2 orange layers and then properly highlight paint with the bright orange and the yellow and the white. What do you think?
Sounds like a good start.
Okay, I'm going to try that, see what happens.
I am currently still trying to find a really good reference photo for Brick. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, this will be it.
Yep, this is already, I'm already able to tell you this was the right call.
How dark do I want that?
I should move Ghost Rider himself out of the way so I don't actually accidentally break him. I also have War Machine on the docket tonight, if I get there. Nobody was really speaking to me today when I looked at my rack. I was like, oh, War Machine's here. He looks cool. I'll go give him a shot. But I do strongly doubt that I'll get that far. Pre-Borderlands 3 game solo, a lot of people call that idea boring and artful, but honestly, it's a very chill journey. Yeah, no, I feel you, RPD. But like, my brother wanted to play with me and stuff, so that was the first time in my life my brother expressed any interest in playing a video game with me at all, other than like Star Wars Dark Forces, which, by the way, what a great game that was.
Yes, it is. Perfect.
Got a good one?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking at pics of the character and what I've got going. And what I need to paint and what I don't.
Right. Yeah, I feel you, RPD. I feel you. I find that that's the case with a lot of, like, hey, you know, someone will come up to me and be like, hey, you got to play this game multiplayer. And I'll just do it solo. And I'll be like, no, this was fine. The Lego games, for example.
Yeah.
Although Chamali and I are... Sorry.
As opposed to Army of Two, in which case if you're not playing it multiplayer, you're like, the game is awful.
Right.
Like it is
kind of in the name.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a fine enough game if you have a second player, otherwise it's just horrid.
Yeah. Well, Chamali and I just got to free play in Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Nice.
Yeah, that game is great. We've been playing along, and you know, Adam's been watching kind of over our shoulder as we as he draws, and we bash our head against Deadpool walls. God, dry brushing on Flame just is the business. It's that erratic, like, you know, Flame is unpredictable. And dry brushing really gives that unpredictability feel. With LEGO games, you're playing multiplayer, you have to fight the camera. Yes, that is the one downside to playing multiplayer in the LEGO games is you do have to fight with the camera.
That is always a difficult task.
Yeah. See, I already had that on PC, though, RPD. I did see that. RPD and Chamali and Paul are trying to sell me on PlayStation Plus, and I'm like, I don't know. Doesn't seem worth it yet. Mostly because I'm broke, and that's a problem. Just buying the dang thing ran me into the dirt, so...
I've still been struggling trying to find a PS5 and/or an Xbox Series X. Which I'm more interested in the Series X anyway.
Well, Xbox seemed kind of worthless to me because I have Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So literally anything that I could play on an Xbox Series X, I can play on my PC.
Okay.
Admittedly, I need a new video card, but that's a me problem.
Yeah.
And almost, if not more difficult than... obtaining an Xbox Series X or a PS5.
I don't know, video cards are pretty hard to come by.
Yep. And less that they're less about the availability and more about just the prohibitive expense. It's real. All of my life advice begins with first you got to stop thinking like a poor person. I'm a teacher, RPD. It comes with the territory. So my students had their robotics competition today.
How'd that go?
Well, we took second.
That's good.
Out of 3.
That's
less good.
Still.
No, it was a good show. They had a good time. They did really well. We were proud. Yeah.
So instead of he's got blue jeans, but instead of doing like our gray blue wash like thing, like they're like really dark. So I'm actually going with like a dark blue.
Yeah. I did that on a couple of the thugs for Gotham City Chronicles, just to shake it up a little bit. So we're going to get our Christmas tree tomorrow.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, should be. My brother's coming down from Maine. My parents are meeting us at the tree farm. It's the first year we've been able to have a real Christmas tree, so... it's kind of a big deal. And I don't know that my wife has ever had a real Christmas tree, because her parents never did growing up. And, like, we've always gone with my parents when they go to get their tree, but we've never been able to have one. So it's always we always leave feeling a little cold.
Yeah. Speaking of cold,
Go
it
on.
is December, and it was 71 degrees here today.
I hate you, man. It was -10 this morning when I left home.
I was definitely one of those. I'm like, this is like I was probably getting the kids dressed, and it's like, sure, you can wear shorts. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I had so my fairly standard robotics competition attire is Chuck Taylor sneakers, socks, obviously, black jeans, my Under Armour, and my team T-shirt, which I'm still currently wearing. Step on Our Legos is our team. And that was not enough. Like, I had to find my stupid hipster hat and my hoodie to go over all that. And I was like, this is just punishment, is what this is. I should probably move this microfiber cloth out from under my drop cloth. Alright, let's get a little orange in here. Probably the last dry brush layer, the rest I'll do with actual layering. But we'll see. Ooh, I might have gone too hard with that, but we'll see. If you got your stupid hat on, does that mean you have the ability to unleash that monologue from Riverdale? I'm not sure exactly which one that monologue is, RPD, but I definitely did say that hell is other people at some point today. Starting to look good. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna dry brush the yellow too. Oh, in case you haven't noticed, I'm a weirdo. Yeah, I've definitely dropped that one too. It's not a Jughead hat though. Like, you've seen my hat, RPD. You know what I'm talking about. It's my like floppy beanie, but it's not like it kind of stops before it goes all the way down. I did pick up a new thing of lead belcher.
Good.
Because that seemed important.
Very important.
Especially if I'm going to do War Machine. No GT's kombucha today. I ran out. This wouldn't be a problem if GT's Dave would sponsor me. So you get your Spider-Man tickets yet?
I did.
Nice. Opening night?
What?
Opening night?
No, the 18th.
Ah.
There's conveniently our parents' night out at daycare on the 18th, so
Nice.
from 4 to 9. And I was like, well, let's just get tickets.
There you go. All right. So this dry brushing thing did work absolutely flawlessly. I went a little further with it than I expected to, but I kind of like it. I'm just picking out the sharpest points with a second layer of yellow, a little bit more paint, a little more saturation on the yellow. And the reason for that is it's going to get dulled out somewhat by the glaze that I'm going to put on it. I think that's looking pretty good. Hey, Chamali, what's up? It must be Ghost Rider. Go to bed, Chamali. The rider is right here. I get it, Paul. Thank you, RPD. And yes, of course it is Ghost Rider. All right. I need... let's go with this brush here. You know what we mean, Chamali. All right. A little bit of just touch of that in there. And for a little added bite, brick. So, you know what comes out the same day as Spider-Man?
What?
The new episode of the Grand Tour.
Oh, yeah?
So I've got to make the decision between Jeremy Clarkson and Peter Parker.
Why not both?
Well, that's exactly the decision I came to. Because the Grand Tour is released in the, in GMT, it actually drops the day before.
Ah.
So I will be able to watch that before I go to bed the night before. And I'm very excited. Although I gotta say, like, Clarkson's farm was amazing, and I kind of want more of that. As much as I want more of the Grand Tour. And maybe that's just the, I was a farm boy back in the day. They say you can take the kid out of the farm, but you can't take the farm out of the kid. Well, I grew up reading stories to pigs, so... RPD, what are you up to tonight? You're usually making something. Tales in the Archive had very humble beginnings before Handelabra picked it up. And that's true. It did not technically start on Handelabra. It started here. But I feel like there's more to... What's that?
On Watsy Paint Drive. I'm jokingly implying you played the storytelling games to an audience of pigs. I got it now, RPD. I'd forgotten what I'd said about pigs. This is how my brain's functioning tonight. That is to say, barely. I was so tired after... Like, normally robotics competitions run from, like, 8 in the morning till, like, 5 in the evening. And we're not back until, dinner time. This one got done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, oh, I'm home with, like, reasonable time to spare. And I thought maybe I could get a test print done on my printer, because it's now finally set up. I didn't quite get there, because... I had to run to the hardware store, but we're set up to do it tomorrow. Yeah.
I really hope it works.
I'm still a little vague on how to level it.
Oh yeah, that is a little tricky.
Like, from what I understand, you cut a piece of paper to roughly the size of the resin tray, and then like lower the build plate until it touches, and then kind of tug on the paper and make sure it's not.
The paper like should have a little bit of resistance, but not a lot. Yeah.
Okay. That seems reasonable. I can probably handle that. Did I buy anything of Iron Breaker 2? I feel like I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just nuts. Ah, I did. Look at that. Huh. You broke from tradition and did a build on your week off. Man. RPD's being industrious over here. Oh, I hate opening new paint. Or new Citadel paints.
That's really boring.
What's boring?
I'm trying to figure out a so Brick is holding a rocket launcher.
Yep.
So I'm like going through all of the different rocket launchers. And I'm trying to find like a good one that matches.
Sure.
And most of these are pretty boring and not. That one's not terrible. At least add some color to it.
There you go.
The roaster, that's a great one. Oh. So the roaster was a unique rocket launcher that it pretty much did lots of random fire effects and just like fire erupted from everywhere where you shot it.
Nice. Oh, I should find a Samus Aran mini to paint.
Nope, can't paint that.
Hey?
It is the Effervescent, which is like the colors depict the rarity. Effervescent is like the highest one, but it looks like a rainbow.
Sure you can.
Ooh, this is the one. Like the model actually looks like this one. Okay.
Okay. And if you wanted to paint something, with rainbow, you just do what I did on Thor's base.
And appropriately, the name of the rocket launcher that I found that is like the actual model that the mini is holding is called the Nukem.
Yeah, that tracks. I like that. Oh, gotcha, RPD. Okay. Oh, dear.
That leaked out like nobody's business.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this Ghost Rider mini is a lot of fun to paint. It's so simple.
I was about to say, I had just gotten. So, I forget where it was from. They were having a special. Spend a certain amount of money, and you get like a Arkham Horror Final Hour for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting the Machinations Through Time, that the like Arkham Knight's adventure from this year.
Yeah.
So it's like I already had that, and then I was like, well, I need to like if I wanted to get like the Final Hour for free, I like added a couple minis. I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and get Guardians or something like that.
Sure.
I got like those 2 packs. So like Star-Lord, Rocket Groot, Nebula, Gamora, and then Ronan and Drax.
Yeah.
You got them all set up, everything's already, they're all timed and set, and then like that Saturday, last Saturday, like I was ready to paint them, and you're like, I'm at a concert. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then the Borderlands like stuff came in the next day, and I was like, well, I'm painting those now.
Yeah, isn't that always the way? Like, I got all that Batman stuff, I'm like halfway through it, and all of a sudden we start buying the Marvel minis, and I'm like, I want to paint Marvel still. I even looked through the Batman minis before we went live tonight. I was like, do I want to paint any of these? And the answer is no. You know, it's funny, for most of my life, I've been like, oh, I'm a DC guy. I'm noticing that that is strictly not true. I'm a Batman guy, but I prefer Marvel.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like, as someone who definitely is a DC guy, like, there are tons of people who are just like, no, I'm just a Batman.
Yeah. And and that's, I guess I'm exaggerating a little bit too, because I'm also a giant Green Lantern fan, and was very disappointed with Ryan Reynolds' movie. I also like the Flash quite a lot. Flash has some really cool villains.
I like the Flash a lot as well.
Some of my earliest comic books are the Flash. I had an amazing time showing off the build to Taffy. He was just as paralyzed with his job, or that not only was building a mech and a wrestling engine easy, but that I could justify it on a layer of reality and couldn't be in-universe special effects there. Nice, RPD. So I went to the hardware store today to pick up the isopropyl alcohol for the curing station.
Uh-huh.
And turns out the girl who was running the register is also into 3D printing.
Mm-hmm.
And had just ordered like 4 gallons of isopropyl alcohol by mistake.
Oh, nice.
She needed 1, but they came in like a case of 4.
I've made that mistake before, yeah.
So I was like, oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. Oh, right. Oh, wow. Wow, I'm thinking about it.
What?
I need to put down the skid trails. And the way I do that is with this. It's Sterling Battlemeyer time. Hasn't been that way in a long time, but we're about to break it out. Or do I want to use Astro Granite? No, I'm going to use Battlemire. Yes. Worked as planned. This is the whole reason I chose to do Ghost Rider next.
Why?
Because I wanted to do, like... I wanted to make melted tarmac and stuff coming up out of the ground around the tires. And, like, lava kicking around on, you know, on the ground. Alright, I need a gray, dark. How about Skaven Blight Dinge? That'll work. Today I'm doing another hero from the SAC. This time I'm going a little bit edgier and building one of the Trenchcoat Mafias. Building off of the whole Trenchcoat Mafia hysteria. Fair enough. Oh. Oh, I didn't tell you the story about... So, one of my favorite stories to tell my students is the year my brother ruined Christmas.
Sounds like a great story.
It's a wonderful story. I was 9 years old, and my favorite thing to do at the time, and one of my favorite things to do now, is, of course, read. I'm a librarian. That comes with the territory. It kind of makes sense. And I can tell you exactly what book I was reading and exactly where I was sitting when this all went down. My brother... Or my mom had to go to the grocery store for some reason. I don't know what. Probably to find, like, you know, stuff for her gingerbread cookies or something like that. And she was like, you're 9 years old. You can handle watching your brother for 5-10 minutes, right? I was like, yes, of course. That's fine. I'm just going to be here reading. Tim's doing whatever Tim does. Probably getting into trouble. I'm sure he'll just get in trouble for it later. Whatever, fine. And no sooner had my mom pulled out of the driveway, I heard a clunk, thud, oops come from the kitchen. And I said, Tim, you better go clean that up. And he's like, I know. And I figured that's the last I'd hear of it. Turns out I was wrong. My brother had spilled dog food all over the carpet. And of course, brush and dustpan doesn't work very well on the carpet, so hey FJB. 2 out of 3 actually. And my brother went into the vacuum cleaner closet where all our presents were hidden. And turns out he had deliberately made that mess so he could look in the closet. He came running in and spoiled all our Christmas presents to me and to my cousin and everybody else. And it kind of, subsequently ruined Christmas. Well, I did that to myself this year.
Oh, yeah?
When I was at the concert last week, I went to Barnes & Noble, and just kind of on a whim, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go into Barnes & Noble. It's one of my favorite stores, blah, 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 whatever. And I almost bought myself a copy of the book that my wife had gotten me for Christmas.
Thanks.
Yep, real smooth me. I found an autographed copy of Dave Grohl's book from Foo Fighters. And apparently she had also done the same thing. So, unfortunately, I know what I'm getting for Christmas this year, and it's making me sad.
Let's see. So, no, FJB, I was wrong. Turns out only 4 teams registered and only 1 no-showed. I think they were looking to get 6. I think that might have been where I misinterpreted. But we did really, really well on the project. Like, the judge really, really liked it. So, pat yourself on the back for that one. That's a lot of that on your back, buddy. Robot did fine. We had 1 really, really good run. And 2 not so good runs, and then 1 mediocre run. We had a really good run in the finals, but unfortunately that didn't count.
What didn't the finals count?
They're just ceremonial. Total points, I think our record was 155, I think? I could be wrong. Jaden would know. I'm sitting here highlighting things that are never going to be seen ever.
That's how it goes.
I should probably just move on to Ghost Rider, right? Oh dear, oh dear. You do still have the mystery left in whatever gift. Yeah, that's true, RPD. That is very accurate. The mystery deep dive. I still got to get my Secret Santa out. I had such good ideas, and then they all fell through because we haven't had any orders in at the store. Also, shipping to Canada is a nightmare. Which probably tells you exactly who I had.
Yeah. That narrows it down to 1.
Yep. Yeah, no, your work definitely paid off, FJB. And the other thing I will note is we do have the district showcase event in the spring. So we definitely have something to work toward. Yeah, no, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
for everybody on the team being functionally a rookie, it was a good season. Good showing.
Barbarian flesh tone color is perfect.
Oh, that's better.
Okay, one of the few things that I've complained about these Borderlands games is they're just like a little bit small, too small of a scale, I'd say.
Yeah.
And the scaling is a little like bizarre for the characters. Like some of the characters seem a little bit like smaller scale than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wish that these would like have been scaled up just a little bit more. Like I don't think they're 28 millimeter. I think they're a little bit smaller than that.
Mm-hmm.
But oh. Although apparently there's a new Borderlands tabletop game. From, like,
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that. I imagine that was your brother's FJB. That's a Rancid quote. No? Go up a grade.
Hello? Okay.
What class was before? Don't you know kittens have traps? Doesn't go to Plymouth? What? Oh, is that, man, it doesn't go to Plymouth High School. Up a grade from your brother. God, I have no idea. I remember writing it, I just don't remember who I wrote it for. That's weird. Normally I remember both. Give me initials first and I'll see if I can come up with it. Or like, you know how I like write, you know, you would be F-E-B-E? Do that. Or F-I-B-E. E-M. Oh, you don't know the last name. That's gonna bother me all weekend, man. I don't know. You'll have to tell me on Monday. E-M-M. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about now. And that would track. That makes sense. Oh, right on. Yeah. Shenanigans, as you know, my friend, are how I get through the day. That's okay. Not the best ever, but it'll do. All right. Other than waiting for this base stuff to dry, I think the bike is done. Oh, no, it's not. Ah, dang. Missed a bit. What's that?
You missed it.
Yep, I missed the glaze. Good night, man. We'll see you Monday. Bit too much. All right, that is a bike with flaming wheels. Now for the duder who lives on top of it. I mean, rides on top of it. Sits on top of it? Are you doing honey glaze on that bike, or do you have a fancy family sauce you glaze with? Well, let me introduce you, RPD, to Bloodletter. It's Bloodletter glaze. Blood for the blood god, milk for the cornflakes. I told you how I managed to stab myself. Sorry?
Coming along nicely. This barbarian quest is such a great quest down.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I told you I managed to stab myself setting up my 3D printer yesterday.
Yeah, what do you stab yourself with, an Allen wrench?
No, with my knife.
Okay.
I was cutting a zip tie.
Ah.
Yeah. And like just right into the webbing of my hand.
Oh, the worst spot.
Yeah, it was extremely painful, but not bloody at all, which was interesting. I did not see that coming. That's weird.
What?
Just reading something. Fell down a rabbit hole briefly while I was looking at reference photos here. All right. So Ghost Rider's mostly just almost like he's black leather, right? So
this shouldn't be too hard at all.
what do you think, Broody? Am I just using Abaddon black all over this thing?
Pretty much, that's what I would do.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Where's a base coat brush? This one's probably fine. No, that one. It's been a while since I've done one of these without the painting handle. You know what never ceases to amaze me?
What?
How fast the holidays go by.
Yes.
It's like last week was Thanksgiving. This weekend we're going to get our Christmas tree. And next weekend is like a normal weekend. And then the following weekend is cookie making day. And then we've got like, you know, half a week of school, and then it's just Christmas stuff until January. And then New Year's.
On the subject of Christmas stuff, I have managed to get my sister... Ah, nice. I don't dare tell my students about Whamageddon, because they will definitely...
Try to win you.
Huh?
Try to win you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm a little upset that I got hit on like the second day.
Yeah, that's so lame.
Just taking my kid into daycare, and it was just that was the song that was playing on the radio at that exact moment.
God, it's the worst.
Nothing I could do about it.
I mean, part of my survival strategy has always been like, I don't listen to the radio anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm not sure if it's an official rule, but it's like an unofficial, like unwritten rule. You go about your daily life. You don't, you can't really like go out of your way to avoid it. Don't change your habits,
Yeah, like the extent that I've done to prep for it essentially has been, I have curated my Pandora.
Right.
So it was like I had Casey listen to it one day until like just skip through until she found the Last Christmas by Wham, and then she just thumbs it down and it disappeared. Like it never shows up on my Pandora.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be honest though, I do jump a little bit every time because I have the Jimmy Eat World version on my Christmas playlist. I do flinch every time it comes on. The funny thing about Last Christmas is it's not a terrible song.
No, it's not. I don't have anything particularly against it other than just like it's the song that was picked for Wham again. So.
Right. Oh, I could have done that differently. Oh well. Decisions were made. My students got aggressively into rickrolling last year.
And seems like 10 years too late.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said, but my colleague who showed them what rickrolling was is always a little behind the curve. We got her back, though.
Mm-hmm.
We hid Down Under by Men at Work in her daily slideshow presentation.
Nice.
For weeks. She had no idea how to turn it off. So every morning she'd start up her slide presentation and you'd start hearing Men at Work calling, "Hey."
it's good harmless practical jokes like that really make work exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I have another colleague. Actually, she's my neighbor.
Yeah, that's true.
Who she can be a little uptight at work sometimes, and I wrote the word gullible on a piece of paper and stapled it to her ceiling.
And you told her that gullible was written on her.
I sure did. Well, no, her students did. Her little second graders were like, "Why does it say?" And then they struggled with the word gullible, and then they finally got it on the ceiling. She goes, "Ha ha, yeah, that's very funny." And then Carson goes, "No, it's look up." This is the same teacher that we wrapped her desk chair in trash bags and wrote garbage on it.
Right. I've been having a bit of fun recently with one of my coworkers, just leaving random stuff on his desk.
Nice.
So it's like here's like random ketchup packets that I just leave on his keyboard,
Sure.
and he just like keeps finding it. It's like, what is this? Where did it come from?
You know, that's the thing. Like, I had to be very clear with the second graders. Like, pranks are fine, but you have to. There's some criteria. It cannot in any way physically harm or injure anything. If as soon as it does, you've gone too far, and now you've got a problem on your hands. And both people, everybody involved, needs to leave laughing, not just the pranker.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because if that's not the case, then it's just, I mean, straight up bullying at that point. Is it funny to watch my colleague squirm a little bit when there's a dead grasshopper on her desk? Yes. But, you know, we're not going to leave it there. Like, we're going to own up to it immediately and clean it up for her. Like, it's, you know.
Next, teach the kids to use "You Spin Me" around like a record to give the adults who hear it meat spin flashbacks.
You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, round, round. All those goofy songs, I'm actually a huge fan of. Like, I actually liked that Dead or Alive song. It's in my road trip playlist. Although, speaking of weird music, the TWRP show was really fun. I didn't realize it until they started talking about it, but over the course of the pandemic, they've released 2 full records, 2 collaborations with Ninja Sex Party, and a bunch of just like solo EPs. It's like, these guys are just workhorses. Dude, I know One Hit Wonderland. That is a concept that is familiar to me. No. That one is unfamiliar to me, RPD. And bear in mind, like, watching things on YouTube, not really, like, a thing I do consistently. Other than Good Mythical Morning, because I can watch that on the way to work. Or, I guess, listen to it as a podcast. Because each episode is exactly the same as my drive to work. Like, I still haven't gotten around to the new Defunct Land yet. Train Records is another show by the same guy who does One Hit Wonderland, where he looks at albums that killed bigger artists' careers. Oh, interesting. Then maybe I have seen it. I don't know. Or maybe it's like come across my feed and I've just not paid attention to it, or, you know, stuff like that. But I'll definitely have to check that out. Sounds really cool, RPD. Alright. The unblackening has been done. Moving on to Lead Belcher, since it's right in front of me. It won't take very long.
Now be careful on there, don't break the chain.
Yeah. Believe me, painting chains is something I'm intimately familiar with. Chaos Dwarfs have a penchant for tying people up. Let's just put it that way. Oh, wait a minute. RPD, people are starting to get their FP3 Blu-rays. I haven't got mine yet. I haven't even got a shipping notification yet.
Yeah, that's yeah. To the hard way by Sharon Ray. Oh god, this is weird. Painting this chain while it's like flopping around in my hands. So the guys and I were talking about possibly doing another Gen Con road trip next time we go out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went to the airport doing unsolicited my brother Marcel. I went to the airport the other day. And I was surprised, well not that surprised, to see that there's a baseline of fear behind everyone's eyes. Just everybody walking around the airport had like, was just scared. And I'm like, I get, your feeling is valid, I understand. My god, this chain is so annoying. I think this is why I'm putting off characters like Storm.
Oh god. Oh boy.
I probably ought to bite the bullet and just, hello, Gwen. How are you? Been a while. For more serious and somber episodes, the two big ones would be American Life by Madonna and Paulo by Robin Thicke. Well, yeah. God, Broody, this chain is going to kill me. Busted hand? I feel you there. I stabbed myself in the hand the other day, and my hand is still a bit stiff. Hot Fuzz reference? It's a bad one.
That is way too big spread out.
Ooh.
Need a much smaller brush. Much.
Handball can get real, though. We play that with the students sometimes, and boy, it is
can get intense. The ball was overinflated. Yeah, I was gonna say those balls are not usually very hard, right?
What balls?
Handball balls?
Depends on how fast it's going at your face.
Well, that's a good point too. It was hard enough to bend back. Ugh! Ooh, 3 pieces. Yikes. Well, I hope you feel better. I hope that heals quickly. All good. Finish the game. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. The inner hockey player in me is very proud of you. My student and I were just talking about how hockey players versus football players is a very, very different dynamic. There's a video out on YouTube, you can look it up, called it's like hockey drills versus football drills, and it's a bunch of hockey players doing a bunch of football drills, and then a bunch of football players doing a bunch of hockey drills, and oh boy.
Did he get his butt handed to him?
Well, mostly by the ice. None of them could skate. Which I realize is a fundamental prerequisite to playing the game of hockey, but it was funny. They were all really good-natured about it. It wasn't, you know, it was done by like ESPN or something like that. It wasn't even. It wasn't malicious or anything. It was just goofy. Do you think I should paint some fire inside Ghost Rider's mouth? Or just like black?
I think that just black should be fine.
Just black, okay. So I started reading the new book by Nikki Sixx.
Mm-hmm.
It is very good. It's talking about his childhood, which is something he hasn't really talked about a lot. Still learning to skate backwards, huh? Your inner hockey player and your inner pacifist arguing over whether or not you should have started the revenge fist fight. So my RP, I don't know if I've ever talked about this. When I played hockey, which wasn't very frequently, like I didn't. That's a whole nother story for another day. But when I played, I wasn't. That's me curl rock into a bullseye at the other end. I'm your guy. Nice. Yeah, there you go. The other Canadian. Well, hockey is hockey Canadian? I thought it was Scandinavian. could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But anywho, I'm being pedantic. Oh God, what was I saying? Oh, right. When I played, so I was definitely not a fighter. That I'm not built for that. I'm a pacifist, as you know. I was a chirper. I would get up on the face-off line and just start talking. But I look like such a goob. I'm a goober? I don't know if I'm a goon. I don't know why I'm trying to be careful with this. I'm going to end up dry brushing the crap out of it anyway. What was my go-to? Honestly, it's been a while. Mostly just like, "Hi, how are you?" Like I would just start talking. Just it wasn't really like I wasn't trying to rile anybody up. I was just like, or I mean, I was, but like, I wasn't trying to draw out the fight. So I was just like, it's a huge chain. It's a nightmare of a chain. So more like, "Hi, how are you? How you doing? How were you this week? Did you get all your homework done?" Just like whatever popped into my head is what I would say to people on the line. And if I didn't, I mean, there wasn't a penalty for chirping, but there was definitely you will get in trouble with your coach at the and for driving the other team bonkers. But the nice thing about pond hockey is there aren't really any coaches around. Best hockey memory. Okay, oh yeah, that's a good one. So we were playing a pickup game, our little pond hockey team versus some people that we didn't know were the reserve team for the Manchester Monarchs. And it was just like we used to play on the pond, and you know, it was me and my best friend Travis and our friend Seth and just anybody who lived nearby. Well, Seth didn't tell us that his stepdad played with reserve players for the Manchester Monarchs. And they showed up, and here we are in our foolish, like, duct-taped newspaper pads playing our no-lift hockey game. And all of a sudden, these giant guys come on the ice. And we're like, what have we done? We thought we were going to get bulldozed over, but we ended up having the best game of our lives. And, like, being able to play with, you know, semi-professional players was really, really cool and very educational. And they were going easy on us too. Like they weren't, you know, taking it seriously. It was just we were just fooling around, and we were having a really good time. So alrighty, there's that. Let's get some Taken to Church Pond Hockey Edition. Exactly.
How you doing over there, Broody?
I am coming along. I'm on watching now.
Nice. I'm about to hit that point myself. I just want to get some sort of bone color down. I think. Yeah, a little bone color. Actually, what I should do first is put some black in his eye holes and mouth hole. That guy does have a bazooka.
Alright. Void.
What was that?
I got a bunch of Nuln oil.
Oh.
Like under his chin and stuff where I want the right one flesh shape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bazooka's a great word. The gun and the bazooka, see? And he's gonna kill you if you don't. Well, it's definitely not Marcus Phoenix. Because...
No, this is Brick.
It's Brick from Borderlands. But... Since you asked... This one is Marcus Phoenix. Boy, it was quite a long time ago we painted those ones, Broody.
Yep.
We've been doing this a long time. Well, so Broody and I have been doing this show for what? I mean, a year and a half at this point?
Like that?
Something like that. And we've painted a lot of minis on this show. And that one just happens to be just off camera, so. Also, Gears of War is one of my favorite game franchises, so the fact that I was able to paint those minis, all while Alex and I were streaming, what were we, Gears, RPD probably remembers, it was probably Gears 4 at that point. Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, even so much as, like, I keep some of my first models, you know, nearby, just to sort of reference them. But yeah, we've done much learning and growing on this show. Well, nothing was during the Gears 1 playthrough RPD. That was that was a mistake that did happening. I know. But the fact that we're most of the way through tactics now is like, what are we gonna? I mean, we know exactly what we're gonna play afterward. We're gonna play Outriders, but where's Mazandri dust? There it is. And that the next episode of Gear Up will be Wednesday. We're very excited. Get back at that. Just confirmed with Alex a couple of hours ago. With Broody as my witness, which was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Since you've been away, we've done many things on the channel. We did the Batman Arkham series, all of them. We just started the Sony Spider-Man.
I did the same thing you did there. I went straight from Batman Arkham, like a playthrough of all 3 games, into playing Spider-Man, and like the controls are like just enough off to be confusing as hell.
Yes, that's exactly what I was struggling with the other night. I'm gonna go down a brush size. We did. What else did we do? We did Mega Man Battle Network. Were you here for Battle Network 1? We did Space Marine. We did.
I have not played Mega Man Battle Network, and I've desperately wanted to.
Oh, I should let you borrow it. Next time we can, actually be in the same proximity as each other.
You have like the old, like the actual, like Game Boy Advance cartridges and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been able to find it, so I've been waiting for them to do like a legacy collection, like they have with like all of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's and then off camera, I've done a bunch of stuff, mostly Nintendo. Our producer on our podcast gave me obtained for me, and I paid him back, a collector's edition version of Metroid Dread. That was so much fun. I'm so glad I did that. I actually went into Metroid withdrawals after that one too. I did Mega Man 11. Finally, that was off stream. What's that, Mike? Sorry.
How is 11? How is Mega Man 11?
How is Mega Man 11? Really hard. Like harder than you would expect even out of a Mega Man game.
Okay.
I had to turn it all the way down to Wimpy Kitty Baby mode to actually figure out the mechanics. And I've gone back and beaten it on normal now, but like it's ridiculously hard. Definitely not a game I did on stream.
There's only so much of Zach dying constantly getting game overs that's like entertaining.
Yeah, pretty much. Once I sat down and like actually committed myself to it, I learned it pretty quick. But it was like it would have been a nuisance to try and do on stream. Like even the Mega Man Zero games, well documented. Those are my favorite games of all time. But they're not games that I would do on stream. Those are games for when I specifically want a very specific challenge. I've yet to play a Mega Man game. They're so good. But I definitely suggest if you're going to play a Mega Man game, start with Mega Man X. I have played Hollow Knight, not all the way through.
I love Hollow Knight.
It's so good. I love it so much. I don't like sitting here to play it. I would prefer to be out in the other room. I don't know. It's just kind of where my head's at with Metroidvanias. I did do some. Yeah, that's true. Well, I see what you're saying. RPD, yeah. That was a learning and growing experience. You were there for it.
Yeah, Mega Man X is my strong recommendation for where to start. Unfortunately, they all kind of go downhill after that. Not significantly, like they're still all very good, but if you're into Metroidvania though, Mega Man Zero is awesome. It's almost Metroidvania. It wasn't easy to learn that just because something is part of a boss doesn't mean it has a hitbox. It's also very difficult to talk during those games. Oh, shoot. I messed up. I mean, not badly, but... Not badly, but noticeably.
Okay, Ross is down.
Nice.
So we can get into a square.
Seems like one that we'll be finishing off camera, yeah?
What?
I mean, we're pushing up against the 2-hour mark. Are we going to finish this one off camera?
Possibly. I need to wash or dry some.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I'm nearing wash point on Ghost Rider here.
So, one of the things I found out that's really nice for kind of that Borderlands style, like it's on like a desert post-apocalyptic wasteland type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've done steel and mud.
Yeah.
And then when it dries, I've hit it with the Hexos Pale Sun.
Yes.
And then touched up on top of that with the Terminata Stem.
Yep.
And you get a really good crackly desert base.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not sure if they have one that's more already like almost a Xandri dust color to start with than the steel and mud, but from what I
they do, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not... I don't like it as much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like more crackly than lumpy. I prefer the lumpiness of the Astro Granite or Sterling Mud. Alright, let's bring the bike on again for a moment here and get the base coat down on... Oh, is that actually drying? Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. This bit. I know. Go off to the side for a moment. Isn't that spreader tool fantastic, Mike?
I love it. Yeah, it's great. Even when I'm not using it as a spreader tool, like, it's so versatile. Like,
Yeah.
I actually use it to, like, pull out the, like, dried on bits underneath the pot lids.
Yep.
And a couple other, like, things. Sometimes when I'm using my droppers, I'll use it as a stirring tool and just stir up my paints with it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, there's just so many uses for it.
So I'm doing that vein of lava underneath the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And it is coming out exactly as I wanted it to, which is really good. All that Chaos Dwarf work is building towards something. I guess it was this. Oh my gosh. Back here. Well, then tune in on Wednesday, Gwen, because we're playing Gears Tactics, which is, Alex refers to it as an XCOM-like. And it's been a lot of fun so far. Where's my ink brush? 7 Eastern. 7 Eastern, roughly. I'm doing it. I realize I'm pulling us off camera. Nice. The thing about Gears Tactics is it's not co-op, but we use Parsec to make it that way, and it's so much more fun that way. Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, when you get colossal Gears fans like Alex and me playing it too, we get very goofy with it. And obviously, chainsawing or stabbing someone with the bayonet on a Retro Lancer you just have to yell, "The Stabbins!" Oh, whoops. Ink the lava, idiot. That's how you turn it into natural-looking lava. All right, Mike, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm running low on some steam.
Me as well. I was thinking about getting a jump on War Machine tonight, but I think maybe we will hold off. So I'd prefer to get some work done on the Gotham City Chronicles stuff because I've fallen behind on that quite considerably. So I guess next week we'll finish up Ghost Rider and get him on his bike. Although I'm really very fond of how the flames came out.
Yeah, he looks pretty baller.
Oh, ow. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. For watching paint dry. We really appreciate it. It's fun hanging out and chit-chatting and chilling and working on some of these projects. As I've said, I will be back on the channel on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for Zach and Alex Gear Up. I'll be playing Gears Tactics with the Baboon. And then we have Trapped in Arkham on Friday night. That's our tabletop simulator cooperative board game night. We're going to be playing Mansions of Madness, I think. Maybe Fate of the Elder Gods. I'm not sure. Maybe Arkham 2nd Edition. Who knows? And then we'll be right back here for more of this on Saturday. Mike, it is always a pleasure getting to hang out with you, my dude. I really appreciate you doing this with me.
Oh, not a problem. I love being here.
So take care, everybody. Be well. Oh, tomorrow night over on the Ryugami-san channel, we've got the This Is Difficult podcast. You can also catch it here as a rebroadcast. That's 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to talk about video games and other things, mostly just video games. So we'll hope to see you there as well. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Yeah.